Hey folks, so yesterday I went and saw both Shazam and Avengers Endgame in theaters, and today I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna do a review, but so spoilers for sure, but I'm going to do a comparison of the two movies. I'm going to explain why I believe Shazam is the better movie. And now I'm gonna have a lot of people be like, well, but my Endgame. Let me explain to you why Endgame could have been an amazing movie. But we'll get there. Let me start out with Shazam. Shazam's biggest problem is the fact that it starts slow, but it's an origin movie, so of course it's going to. Billy Batson wasn't like, for instance, Aquaman. The reason why that movie, right from the get-go, had a bunch of pizzazz and was able to keep you drawn in with action and everything is because Aquaman had already been established in BVS and the Justice League. So you'd already seen him in action, so you knew who he was. And then you have Shazam, who didn't have his powers, didn't appear, so you had to explain who this kid was and why he was important. Well, so they went through, they gave a little quick origin for the villain, and then, Billy Batson's origin, how he does, like, how he's looking for his mom and things like that. And it really was, like, it was heartfelt because you can see that Billy is looking for his mom. He wants to be reunited with his family. And he's willing to go through, great lengths to do that. Excuse me, my cat being an asshole. Little furball. But, then you see, him united, he meets his foster family. He's planning on hitting the road again. You know, gonna leave some stuff out so I don't completely spoil the movie. But he ends up sticking up for one of the other foster kids in the home that he's in, and then runs from the bullies. Well, what makes it funny is at that point he's chosen to be the new Captain Marvel. Or, well, to be Captain Marvel. Shazam is actually at this is his last chance. He gives Billy his power, and Billy doesn't know what to do. At first, he's a complete and utter show-off. He's what you'd expect from a 14, 15-year-old given superpowers. All of a sudden, man, look at him. Bet. We're all going to be stupid when we're that age, given superpowers immediately. But he has his wake-up call moment. He has that moment where, like, him and Freddy's, like, basically jumped to shit and said, look, if I was given these powers, you think I'd be using them irresponsibly? You think I'd be doing this? And it snapped Captain Marvel into who he should be, not who he is. It's like, wait, I am abusing his abilities. He gets into this fight with the villain and everything. Shout out to Mark Strong, once again proving he is an excellent actor. Oh my god, that was well done. Like, that whole movie was great. Everyone was well cast. Very well cast. And, mind you, a point that Tim Pool made, diverse cast, this is true. This is legit. This is diversity done right. It wasn't, hey, look, we're diverse. Look at us. Look how woke we are. It's, we're diverse. Moving on. Literally, that's it. We're diverse. Moving on. Didn't bring attention to it. They didn't really say we're diverse. We're just like, yeah, so, kid. And, like, it was really just well done in that aspect, so at least one aspect of DC gets, you can do diversity, just don't be up in your face about it. But anyway, moving on. And so, villain does the usual villain thing. Family are your powers type deal. Or your powers are family, whatever. And basically, that was the wake-up call for Billy. And they finally do get everyone there. Like, the family comes to help him. He really wakes up. He's like, wait, I know what I need to do now. And, like, the ending, they bring in the Captain Marvel family or the Shazam family, however you want to call it. Well done. I was very impressed with that. Oh man, that scene, man, like, those who have listened to my live streams and heard me talk, when I say, like, scenes choke me up and I'm, like, half fighting back tears, that was one of those scenes where it's like, that's all we ask for. Do it right. Do it right. Like, I feel like a little kid reading my comic books again. It reunited me with my childhood of what I want a superhero movie to be. I wanted to give you that hope. I wanted to make you want to be a better person. And that's what makes this movie so good. It is the fact that, like, it started slow but ended amazingly. Alright? Amazingly. And then you have Endgame. Endgame, yes, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. Until they started doing a bunch of, like, the Captain Marvel Mary suing her way through the storyline. Like, what, all, like, I'm not going to sit there and say that she was in the movie a lot. I will say, though, that I felt like it was... I feel like there was a lot of push of propaganda, and that propaganda killed this movie. For, at least for me. It's like, there was a lot of parts where this movie, amazing highs, everything you'd expect, and then propaganda! Fuck you, Marvel. But you get my point. Anyway, so basically the movie starts out, you know, they're Captain Marvel finds Stark somehow and Nebula floating in space. You know, she brings them back to Earth. Big old, like, Stark and his usual, you know, like the way Robert Downey Jr. portrays him when he's frantic. You know, he's like, look, I'm right. I knew I was right. You're the whole reason why I'm wrong. And it's like, well done. I mean, like, the original Avengers did an amazing job in this movie. I may not like Chris Evans anymore, but I give him credit. He does portray Captain America well. Robert Downey Jr. did well. I mean, as bad as it sounds, like, everyone but Brie Larson was well cast in this movie. And that's sad. Like, Brie Larson, every time you're on scene, all you see, for me anyway, is all the controversy surrounding her, the controversy surrounding Captain Marvel, and I can't help but feel like that hurt the film in the long run. They could have not had her in the film at all. Prime example. Skip a bit to the end, but I'll go back. Like, there's a scene where her and Thanos are, like, she's trying to get the glove off of Thanos again, and she just kind of, Thanos headbutts her, she headbutts him, he drops down, then he pulls out the Power Stone, and I'm just like, okay, first, that's a Mary Sue moment, alright? That is, oh look, Captain Marvel's the strongest, and she's a woman. You know, and I'm sorry, but yes, in the Marvel Universe, Captain Marvel is one of the stronger characters. I wouldn't say she's the strongest, because there are characters who are stronger than her. But, I will admit, she's a strong as fuck character. But, the way she's acting, and the way they handle her, and everything, it's like, I'm not attached to her. Why is she given this strong moment? They could have kept her out of the movie. They could have had their girl power moment at the end, which I'll get to again, you know, unneeded. But anyway, back to it. Like, they find Thanos after that and everything. They hunt him down and they kill him. Okay. Thanos has already done away with the Infinity Stones. Okay. So, they go through 5 years later. One of the things I didn't like, they gave Thor to defeat his personality. Like, he's all been spending the past 5 years drinking. He's like, everywhere on Earth's gone to shit. Things like that. And it's like, well, why though? Seriously, why? You know, why is this, you know, how can I explain it? Thor's biggest thing was, especially in the comics, like, that's why I didn't like the whole storyline where he was no longer worthy to yield Mjolnir. They could have done that, like, they could have done something similar to that, where he no longer felt he was worthy if they hadn't destroyed Mjolnir in 3. Hint, hint! But anyway, like, but they do have a scene where he gets back, like, time travel, I will give them this. Hulk has a moment where he tries to explain time travel, and he says that, you know, no matter what they do, yes, the past may change, or the present may change, but your past is still the same. There's nothing you can do. And that's very true. I mean, it's just one of the... When you're dealing with time travel, it's just going to dip a bit into like quantum physics, you are dealing with infinites within infinites within infinites. It's not just infinite, it's just not just one, but within, like, it's each moment in time, there is multiple instances that can play out. And it's all there. It's all happening at once. The path you're on now is just one of those many paths. There are other realities where those paths have more than likely played out. And picture each instance. Let's say my eraser. I'm holding it, whatnot. Let's say I drop it. Okay, but let's say in another timeline I threw it. Or another timeline I just gently set it down. Like, but all three happened at the exact same moment. I just did it differently. Alright? So, like, it's regardless of what happened, like, regardless of what they did, like, yes, they took the stones from specific points in time and then returned them back to those points. But it doesn't matter. It's not the same timeline as what they are in. There's still a timeline out there that played out exactly the way theirs did, but those instances happened. They just hopped over to that timeline, grabbed them up, hopped back, did what they needed to do, and then put them back. Because that's how that timeline was supposed to play out. And the 1970s, the 25th, 2012, 2014, those are three different timelines because those are three different instances that are being played out differently. Am I being too confusing here? I know time travel, quantum physics is difficult to understand. I could do an entire video on just the way they did time travel and how, in a way, it makes sense that that's how they would do it. Like, that, regardless, yes, they pull those stones from the past, they use them and then return them. The stones cannot be used in the present anymore because they're already destroyed. Their infinity stones are gone. But here's the problem. And it's if you go by the rules of the actual infinity stones within the comics, though, the stones wouldn't work like that. They would not be able to pull those stones from those timelines to the main timeline and use them because the Infinity Stones are specifically tuned to whatever universe you're in, i.e. whatever timeline you're in. Little side note, little fan trivia for you. Watch the Darkseid versus Thanos death battle. Really, they go into it and how Darkseid and the DC versus Marvel got the stones, tried to use it, and it didn't work. It's why? Because he tried using it in the DC universe. Anyway, but like Ant-Man's believed to be dead. He's not. He's stuck in. Those who've seen Ant-Man and the Wasp knows where he's stuck, and like he gives them the idea. That's where the time travel idea came from. It ties into the quantum realm, things like that. They go to their different points. Things go wrong, of course. You get all the way through to the end and whatnot. Like, I just felt like Avengers Endgame. Like I said, there's so many points. Let's see. Captain Marvel Mary suing her way through. The girl power moment at the end with the big battle between Thanos' army and all the, like, the army of Wakanda and various, other, like, the Mystic Order and things like that. Like, it's... I want to say that it was a good, like, it's a good movie. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. It's a good movie. I just feel like the propaganda tainted it. It's not as good as it could be. They didn't have the girl power moment. They didn't have Captain Marvel in there. They didn't do all the... They didn't press in the areas where it was blatant, like, in-your-face propaganda. It stunted the movie. I did like Hawkeye in that movie. I don't like how they did, the Black Widow. I'm sorry, I almost called her Scarlett Johansson, but I don't like how they did Black Widow. Like, fuck that. She deserved her own movie. Why isn't she getting her own movie? Because Marvel doesn't know what the fuck they're doing anymore. But alright. I'm just saying, it's like, the fact, like, the movie just has, like, Whereas, like, Shazam, there's whole parts of that movie that I can go into depth about why it's good. Avengers Endgame, yeah, it's got some good points. Like, I like how they finally gave Hulk, made Hulk and Banner one. Like, I liked that. But it doesn't change the fact that I'm just, no. Not at all. I feel like the way it was done is Disney got in there, somebody got in there and said, let's push politics. Let's push this intersectionality because that's what the woke kids want. And that's not what the kids want. The woke kids, yeah, but that's like 8%. Hidden Tribe support, literal 8%. And what makes me so mad about this is it's like, I feel like 10 years, 11 years of my life, dedicated to seeing every Marvel movie as soon as I can. Like, yeah, let's do this. And I feel like Avengers Endgame went out on a whimper instead of a bang. I feel robbed. I feel like this, yes, I got this grand battle. I got a lot of things. There was heartfelt moments. But it was cheapened. It was cheapened by Captain Marvel. It was cheapened by propaganda, by pushing certain points. And, when you see the movie, if you haven't already, I hope you see it. But at the same time, I hope you don't. I hope you're able to just enjoy it, because that means your life hasn't been consumed by the culture war. Just saying. But alright, folks. As always, you can find me on Twitter at Brainiac420. You can find me on MindsGab, TikTok, and Instagram at Bob Jones Comic Wars. And you can find me on BitChute as Bob Jones. Alright, folks. Y'all have a good one.